It's a scene the public doesn't often witness. A Mountie forced to take down a suspect single-handed. A bystander was ready with a smartphone, capturing the entire incident from start to finish. An officer responds to liquor on 5th after an employee reports a suspect to 911. The lone officer is trained to make split-second decisions.
I mean, there's a number of flags that come up and heighten our response, and the officer wants to go home every night, wants to be safe, wants the public to be safe, and we try to do that as efficiently, as safely, and as effectively as possible.
Because it's currently before the courts, Prince George RCMP can't talk directly about this case. In general, police say their goal is to arrest a suspect with the level of force the situation requires. There are so many factors at play, like the possibility of a weapon, the danger to innocent bystanders, or a suspect's level of intoxication.
Sometimes they resist, and sometimes they can be violent towards the officers as well. So that is something that unfortunately is a fact of life for us that we do have to deal with day in and day out.
And the cop couldn't get his radio, so I had called the cops again and said, "Hey, look like your officer needs backup." And yeah, then they all showed up.
Anytime force is used in an arrest, Mounties have to fill out a report detailing what they did and why.
Supervisors have to check on that. It has to be completed in detail as to what happened and explain basically why that happened and what led up to the results of that.
An officer never knows what's around the corner. They train and prepare for every possible situation. Slowly but surely, the mud, rocks, and trees are sliding down. Terry Phipps is worried about her home, her investment, and her safety.
Like I can't move, so I'm stuck. I can't sell the place. Nobody was gonna buy it. Nobody. So the fight goes on, eh?
CKPG News was first here in the spring. Since then, much more debris has fallen. Phipps had contacted the manager of Birchwood Mobile Home Park as well as the city. With the Hart Highway at the top of the bank, Phipps even approached the Ministry of Transportation.
Nothing is happening. Absolutely nothing, So, and it's just, I'm just frustrated. I'm just so frustrated.
It's a symbol of the city. But taking a closer look, wires are hanging off the CN rail bridge. Yesterday afternoon, it was hit by a thief. The suspect actually went onto the CN rail bridge to cut down the TELUS line. He had to saw through this thick copper wire. The next step would be to burn it. But this time around, police happened to be nearby. Just around the corner, officers were doing a routine check on an abandoned warehouse. The suspect had dragged the wire inside. Mounties found him starting a fire to melt the copper for scrap. With his background, he knows the challenges many First Nations people face.
Having that understanding of why things are the way they are, not by learning it through a book or a module, but actually living it, makes a big difference.
They're all ribbons for helping people.
His approach doesn't include staying inside a patrol car.
He knows how to get people talking, he knows how to engage people in conversations, so that's a plus.
It's the healing circle.
He hasn't had necessarily an easy life. He's worked hard for what he's achieved, and being an officer for a better part of more than 15 years.
He's only been in this position for 2 weeks. At this stage, Gillis is meeting with downtown community partners and social service groups, sitting back to soak in the sun. But you're not alone. Next to the Fraser, it's hard to escape the swarms.
I came here to check a trail, and we just have to run because you had a cloud of mosquitoes just following you. So yeah, it was brutal.
If you want to stay away from mosquitoes, this is a bad place to be. That's because many species lay their eggs in the mud along the riverbank. So this is where they hatch, and you're bound to get bit.